Yeah, thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it. I'm going to do a couple of presentations. They're not long. It's just really to give you sort of a bit of background on this building, which is really, really popular and means a lot to a lot of people, I've discovered, which is an absolute bonus for myself because I've got some exciting things coming on board. So, a little bit of history. I'm missing a lot of history on this building, and I'm hoping through local community and perhaps some local historians, they'll be able to fill in a lot of the gaps, because I think the Great Western itself, the railway opened in 1852, and then between then and 2010, it's very hard to find any information and pictures and things like that. So obviously the building has been there a hell of a long time, and the plan is to rejuvenate it. But around 2010, the previous owners, who I think ran it for a few years, retired. The then landlord decided to sell it. About 2012 it sold to some Chinese nationals who created a company called the Great Western Hotel Conference Centre or something like that. And pretty much it closed straight away, as I'm sure you're all aware, and more aware than I am, but just in case you're not. It had a brief spell of reopening in 2015, but didn't last very long. And then pretty much from October last year, the company that owned the Great Western got struck off. It didn't go into administration or go bust or anything. It literally, they haven't filed their accounts for years, and eventually the company gets struck off by Companies House. And any assets within that company fall to the Crown, which is quite literally the king. So obviously doesn't deal with it personally, but as a group of solicitors deal with anything like that, and there are thousands of properties that are owned by the Crown, and they don't get put on the market particularly. They pretty much sit there, and actually the Crown has no liability of the building either, so they can leave it and let it fall into, dereliction. It doesn't matter if someone breaks in and hurts themselves, they don't need insurance. So it really is that kind of very, very strange scenario where most things in life, there's someone responsible for it whether they like it or not, but there is literally a document which gets rid of all that for them. So October last year, I'd done quite a lot of research up till October last year, and worked out that it was with the Crown through various online sources. And it's a building I've been going past for a great many years, 20 odd years, and like a lot of you, it always stands out, and I always think, what a shame that building's just going to ruin. So I guess that brings me on to the second bit, which is who am I? So my name's Shane Bland. I had a business previously, which was property management and property maintenance, which I set up about 20 years ago, and I sold that a couple of years ago. So I've had a couple of years of relaxation, but now I'm getting bored. So I need a challenge. A lot of people think I'm mental, because who opens a pub nowadays? But you know what? I'm up for a challenge. And I kept going past this building, and I thought, if I could buy that building, that would be fantastic. So I started that process in October, and it got to just before Christmas, and I'd done loads and loads of paperwork, loads of form filling and sending letters to China and all sorts to make sure there's no liabilities there in terms of people coming and saying they've got a claim on it. And then just before Christmas, I thought the process was done, and I thought, great, I can buy this and crack on. And then I heard about the Deppers Bridge Community Benefit Society, which is a group that is led by Yvonne at the back there. Come on, wave, Yvonne. Yvonne and Sarah as well at the back, and a few others as well. But they've been sort of campaigning really for over a year now to save the Great Western. I was unaware of this, and they had a Facebook group which had got 800 and something members on it, which again I wasn't actually aware of because I tried to block out the social media of my life. So had no awareness of this. So then the solicitor's like, you need to speak to these people because, you know, they've registered it as an interest of the community, and, you know, without their sort of approval, if you like, it's going to be difficult for you to buy it because we need to consult everyone. So that's when I got in touch with Yvonne. And since then, we've had several meetings and we've built our relationship to understand what I wanted to do, and from my point of view, I wanted to understand what the community wanted, because ultimately a pub is a community asset anyway, in my view. So, sorry, I'm talking very fast, but there's a lot to get through. So, over the last few months, we've been talking to the DBCBS, and we've come up with a memorandum of understanding, which we've mutually signed, and I'm going to put that on the screen at the end. But that memorandum of understanding is a commitment from myself and also from the Community Benefit Society to have shared visions, shared goals, shared use of the pub, so it fulfills what they would like out of this pub, which is obviously centred on the community. And I'll put that in at the end. But from my point of view, it was always all the things that we discussed in that was great, you know, music to my ears, because it was exactly what I wanted as well. So actually what we found is we were very much aligned on what we wanted to achieve with this pub. So, next. So the ambition is renovate the Great Western and return it to a bar and restaurant. So it'll go back to not exactly how it was, but it's going to be refurbished, sympathetic to the original building, all windows, doors, everything replaced, and it will stay as a classic pub with some nice wooden features and all that kind of stuff. We're going to renovate the railway that goes around the roof, ceiling, which I found that was a G gauge today, because I was thinking, I wonder what gauge railway it is, but apparently it's a G gauge railway. So we've already got, some, there's been rumours and contacts coming around about people who can provide a train that will fit and can plumb it all in, but most of the track, I believe, is still there from when I went last time. So that's the thing, bar and restaurant. And then create a strong connection with the engineering side of it from the past. So we really want to talk about the railway connection, obviously, but also generally engineering. This pub will be about sort of looking back at engineering, classic cars, all those kind of things. So that's something I'm really passionate about. I do a lot of motorsport, and I've got some historic cars, so that's a real passion of mine. And I think if we can integrate it into this pub, which is already called the Great Western because of the Great Western Railway, I think that will work really well. A venue for a local community to feel part of, so it's very, very important to me that it's part of the community, and it's not just there as a pub that is owned by a chain to pump out as much profit as possible. The point of this pub is to add value to the local community, not just, you know, try and turn as much profit as possible. That's not the name of the game. And then also destinations to attract visitors. So really want to get the pub well known on the sort of wider areas. So whether we get sort of classic car community or anything like that, we've got a big list which I can't recall now. But loads and loads of reasons to go there. And they'll bring people in, and it'll keep the pub busy, and that'll benefit the local community in many ways, which I'm going to talk about next. So pub food and drinks, simple as that, but really good quality, not overpriced though. It's not going to be a premium sort of expensive pub. It will be middle-ish, but the quality of the stuff you eat and drink will be very, very good. We'll have a great choice as well. So on the drinks front, we want as much local produce, much locally sourced drinks as possible, lots of non-alcoholic drinks, loads and loads of variety. So we want to work with local suppliers for that, and the same with the food. So that's something I've got a lot of work to do, is finding local suppliers for everything. That for me is really important. I know it's quite a buzzword out there, but we actually do want to do it. It's not local as in, you know, this country. We want it as local as we can possibly get within reason. A place to work from home. So not only do we want it to be a great bar and restaurant, but there's a lot of the community around here who have to work at home now. Not everyone wants to work at home, and it's quite lonely. So one of the that's one of the big things we talked about with the local community is, you know, somewhere to go to socialise but work at the same time. So during the daytime, it will be somewhere that people can go with a laptop, use the free Wi-Fi, sit there, be welcome to sit there, have a coffee. We'll do some good deals where we do cake and coffee or panini and coffee, that kind of thing. So people can feel they can sit there for a few hours in the daytime, work away. They don't have to keep buying drinks all day, but just somewhere where the community can come together. So that's that page. So the task. So what I really need, and this is the ambition again, local contractors to renovate it with me. This isn't a charity project, I'm paying for this, but I prefer to pay local contractors than bring contractors in from further afield. I've already got a few that have already come on board to help board it up and things like that, but I want local contractors to help me to renovate the project, because I want people to feel like a bit of ownership to it, and therefore I think it'll be looked after better. And it's the kind of thing when contractors are driving past, they're always going to look in and just double check that everything looks okay. And at the back of the room, there's some A4 sheets which have got like tick boxes on what trades you may have or may know about, and then some details at the bottom to where you put your telephone number, contact details, or you can email myself. But I really want to try and get some local contractors, and hopefully through you guys that are here today and whoever turns up a bit later, we can, you know, get the contracts we need, and there are tons. You can imagine it's endless. So as many as possible, please. Suppliers, going back to what I just said as well, you know, whether it's cleaning suppliers or food or fruit, veg, drinks, etc. Again, I prefer to know what's available locally. So if you know of anyone, or if you are someone, please put it on the form at the back. And contributors. So this is really a little bit, again, about the local community. What can we do together? You know, what ideas can come forward? We've committed to an amount of events each year that we do for the local community. So we need ideas, we need fun stuff to do, and kind of bring them all together. So that's the aim there. So that's it, that's my presentation. You can switch off now, so hopefully I haven't talked too much. But basically, have a cup of tea, chat now, contractor supply forms at the back. The email is hello@thegreatwestern.pub. If you want to email me, that's more than welcome. It'll just go to me. So yeah, grab a tea, a few biscuits, talk to Yvonne, Sarah, whatever, but you know, just thank you very much for coming. Cheers.